it's Bo. Thank you for joining me on another one of my daily gardening adventures. And I wanted to show you today the shipment that I just got from Greenhouse Nursery. This is my first order from them, and I'm already in love with the nursery. They seem like a really sweet small-time nursery that cultivates plants that they're in love with and have beautiful characteristics and beautiful names. It makes you want to just kind of get everything. So here's the tag: Greenhouse Nursery, garden provisions from kindred spirits. So that's me. Excuse the noise in my neighborhood. There's some jackhammering and all kinds of things going on. Urban gardening. So when we're going to talk about a few things today. One is what you do when you get the plants, right? I also wanted to show you these particular plants that I got, and they're all sort of in this darker plum and pink color palette that I have going on in my garden. So I was going to talk a little bit about the particular plants. So each nursery packs their plants a little differently, but as soon as you get them, as soon as that package arrives on the porch, and hopefully you have a shaded porch or you've instructed them to leave the box somewhere shady. You don't want them getting hot and wilted in that box. Open it up right away. The plants are living things. They should not be in boxes. Hopefully your shipping time wasn't that long, and get them out right away. You're going to want to unpackage them. So some nurseries don't even take the plants out of this container and just put them in little baggies. This nursery keeps them in the pot, and they also put a little plastic bag over them. Sometimes there's kind of like a little collar or a little bit of material that they put on top to kind of keep the top of the root ball in from spilling out. So whatever packaging is there, remove everything except for the container if they come in a container. Also, usually they provide instructions. So read those instructions and do what you need to do to make sure that the plants are landing safely at your house. So take off the material, put them somewhere shady, and then water them in right away. And then after they're good and watered, you can put them in some dappled sun or something to perk them up, but don't put them in a real hot sun, really sunny place. So showing you this again. As I unpack them, I'll tell you a little bit about them. So this is heuchera, also known as coral bells, a really, really useful plant for shade in all different kinds of garden styles. And they do have these flowers that kind of come up and are airy-fairy, usually in the pink color family. But the foliage is really useful because they come in all different colors, from almost black foliage to plum to chartreuse foliage. So these ones are heuchera Midnight Rose, and I practically bought it just for the name. I mean, it's just, what a beautiful name. But I was looking for a plum-colored heuchera. This one is, okay, let me kind of water them as I have them up on this box so that you can actually see them, but it's not a good place for them to receive water. So let me just show you. I mean, you definitely want to water your plants in. This is a dram water head. They're not very expensive, and it's a nice way to do kind of a light rainfall type water pressure when you're watering your garden plants. This rose is called Koko Loko, and it has, you should look it up, it has an amazing flower color that is sort of a mix of plum and apricot, which is sort of impossible because those are two opposite colors on the color wheel. But then when they kind of mix together, it does make almost like kind of like a beigey thing. So it's a very unusual and hard to place color that's in kind of the plum color family. And then this is a Spirea, I think it's Anthony Waterer. Yes, Anthony Waterer. Spireas are also very useful garden plants. They have a soft, fine texture and pink flowers. I think there might be some that have white flowers too, but this one has kind of hot pink flowers, and the foliage is sort of a reddish plum color. So actually, I typically don't like purples very much. I'm more of kind of a pink and peach, yellow sort of a person. But I found that dark foliage plants are really important in adding a sense of depth to your garden's color scheme. Depth sort of in the sense of creating this illusion of shadows and different sort of ins and outs and textures in the garden. If you're thinking of any visual arts like a painting or something, and you have it in color, or even if you're just using pencil and it's all blacks and whites and grays, you don't want it all to be gray. You know, you want some parts that are darker and some parts that are really light. And so in the garden, you're going to have your variegated foliage and your whites and your silvers on one end, and on the other end, I like to suggest putting in some dark foliage plants. I used to never use them very much in design, but now I realize how really important they are in making your particular color theme really work. So here are some of my purple plants that I got. I'm gonna water them in and install them shortly. So thanks again. Check out some of my other videos. We'll see you on our next garden adventure. Bye-bye.